Apparently, Mr. Smith wasn't the only one who went to Washington. In recent news and recent political events, for all of you who aren't aware of what just happened, which I think if you're watching this channel, chances are you are, Kanye West made time, or rather should I say Donald Trump made time for his African American friend to visit him in the White House, which, by the way, overshadowed anything of what Jim Brown had to say, which at the end of Kanye West's tirade was little, if anything, and I'll elaborate on my expectation and reason why in a minute. But Kanye West, in his 20-minute meeting with Donald Trump, talked about, well, rather should I say, talked a lot. I won't say a whole lot of nothing, but it was definitely disorganized, and it was definitely not worthy of any sort of slot when it comes to meeting a president, even if it is Donald Trump. But let's analyze this, and this is going to be a rant. This is honestly going to be a rant. I have a feeling this is going to go into a rant because you got the left and you got the right, who once again are both being disingenuous. You have the left bringing up all sorts of antiquated terms like Negro and Sambo. He was shoe shining and bootlicking and licking Donald Trump's crack clean. Listen to Don Lemonade. Listen to him. Freaking Don Lemonade at the end of this was sounding like he belonged in the roast arena. You put Don Lemon on the post-analysis of this speech, which I don't think is the greatest speech of all time, like some of the writers saying, but you have Don Lemon, who is basically roasting Kanye West. And Don Lemon, he is one of the last individuals who needs to be roasting anybody. But let's get to the speech, and let's get to my roast in a bit. To sum it up, here is what Kanye West stated. Kanye West was advocating for the release of Larry Hoover. And for all of you who don't know who Larry Hoover is, he's an American gang leader and founder of the Chicago Street Gang. No wonder why he chose Larry Hoover, but he's the leader or the founder of the Gangster Disciples. And we all know how much the Gangster Disciples have done for the black community. Yes, you'll have some of those who will cape and say, well, he was a pro-black and he was a hero to his people. He was trying to make a change, and that's why they got him. And Kanye West, I don't know which one of these pro-black YouTubers Kanye West was watching, but he said those words verbatim. He was caping up for Cool Breeze in the White House. We aren't talking about how Kim Kardashian mentioned some female who was locked up for selling drugs because she was hard on times and she got life for just trying to make ends meet. Okay, you can somewhat advocate for her release. Okay, I get it. But OG Pookie and Ray Ray like Larry Hoover, you're advocating for his release of all people when you have individuals who were part of real pro-black organizations, real black empowerment organizations who are in prison to this very day, and some of whom are probably from Chicago too. You didn't mention a damn thing about them. Also, the second point, welfare is the reason why most Negroes are Democrats. Well, that's no bull, no crap. I mean, we can all agree to that. He also made a good point, Kanye West, and I'm saying, well, Kanye West made a good point. Yes, he made a few good points. Too bad he couldn't focus on them for more than 30 seconds. But Kanye West made a good point about getting rid of mental institutions, which was something done specifically in the 1980s. Yas boy, the Gipper, I'll get to who Yas boy is, the people who I'm referring to as thinking the Gipper's their boy in a minute. But Kanye made a good point about getting rid of mental institutions. And to be honest, seeing how some people, particularly those in the left and right, are acting or reacting to this, you all, and to an extent Kanye too, but I won't get too much into him, I'll try not to, but to an extent, Kanye West is the poster child of why mental institutions needed to remain open and needed to be funded. Look, this is from a libertarian standpoint, and as far as I'm concerned, less government intervention is better, at least to a degree. But mental institutions were something that really, I won't say helped society, but it helped. It helped in certain ways. Even if it's just to keep certain people who couldn't take care of themselves mentally off the streets. And as far as his other point of not having a lot of male energy, we can tell, Kanye. We can tell. You don't need to go any further into that. The upbringing, the marriage, the family you willingly married into. Not a lot of male energy, you say. Well, no shit. Which is shown by your next point of wearing the MAGA hat. I mean, you went into like a 3-minute speech, a spiel about how the MAGA hat gives you Superman powers. It felt like you were wearing a cape, and it was because my dad wasn't there, and this hat represents that missing father figure that I didn't have, and the Me Too, Hillary Clinton movement campaign, that didn't represent that. Which I'll agree with you on there. I'll agree with you with that. And he also went into his contract between Adidas and his Wheezy brand, which, by the way, are you talking about those $500 Wheezy shoes? 500, I think it was quite a bit. You love the community so much, the community so much, that you charge your shoes upwards of a few $100s? Really? Really? And he goes on into that about whatever for a few minutes. Right before talking about bringing back manufacturing jobs to America in Chicago specifically. Okay, that's fine. I'm not disagreeing with him on how jobs should be brought back. I think we all can agree to that. But I think it's a bit more complex than what Kanye understands. Particularly about international deals, the old NAFTA deal, the new whatever NAFTA deal they're calling, which, by the way, I looked into it. And this new NAFTA deal is going to bring any jobs back. I'm telling you that right now. Not any man-made, man-tended jobs. You may get a bunch of jobs back here. You may get a bunch of auto manufacturing jobs here, but better believe that the majority of them will not be done by humans. Mental health and the IQ test. He ran about that, and I already made my analysis on why we need mental health institutions. I mean, just look at Kanye and the people who are arguing vehemently for and against them, and you'll see why. Banning the 13th Amendment. Now, he was very adamant on banning the 13th Amendment. And some on the left want to say that, oh, he's advocating the reinstitution of slavery. No, you idiot. It was just that Kanye wasn't as articulate as he needed to be in order to explain that the part of the 13th Amendment he wants to get rid of, and in his case, throwing out the baby with the bathwater, is the part of the 13th Amendment that states that if you are found guilty of a crime, you are subjected to chattel slavery. The 13th Amendment, yes, it banned slavery, yes, for freed individuals. There was a loophole that was made in there, a loophole that was made on purpose, and a loophole that I believe needs to be modified. But Kanye West, being as articulate as he was, instead of using the word modify, he just stated to get rid of it. And let's be honest. Do you want to get rid of the 13th Amendment even in its current form? Because Donald Trump may not be the biggest racist of all time, but considering how your average American feels about the mediocre Negro, including the one who went to Washington, how sure you are that they won't elect someone who really leans to the alt-right, who really believes in the demonization of a certain race? Or how do you know that a certain group of people won't take over this country, won't be the majority of this country, and then will just throw away everything, all the minor actions that have been done for black progress in this country? Now, he also mentions stop and frisk. He just mentions it. He doesn't really say much about how we need to stop and frisk. If all of you don't know, I think they're trying to bring that back in Chicago. And let's be honest, if they're bringing that back in Chicago, who are the politicians in Chicago? What party are they a part of? That's what I thought. He calls out ADHD, saying that schools are boring, and that's probably the reason why a lot of these kids can't pay attention, which... that's actually one of the two solid things that Kanye West stated in this tirade, in this otherwise tirade. The other thing being that illegal guns are the problem, not legal ones. And I think we can all agree that Donald Trump, while he isn't really pushing back against the Obama-era gun control laws, he isn't really trying to push anything new, at least not for now. And he mentioned something about Trump and Colin Kaepernick wearing the same hat, and another op-ed moment, which, Kanye, whatever hallucinations you are on, dude, pass that shit over here. I'm serious. Pass it. But in all seriousness, we have to analyze this for what this is. He may have had the right message or messages when he was able to focus for the 1 minute that he did, but better believe that he is the wrong messenger. He was such the wrong messenger that at the end of this, Jim Brown didn't even speak anything. He had nothing to say, not because he didn't have an agenda of his own, but he was so drained from the absolute, how should I say this? The absolute spurg that came out of Kanye's mouth during this tirade. And a lot of people want to say, well, Clutch, he pointed on some good points. He spoke on some good points. Look, not all of his points were bad. Most of his points have a point. But we all know that Kanye West isn't the most articulate person, and he isn't the most presentable when it comes to ideas. As far as this is concerned, you have people who try to get out of their lane and who try to be social justice warriors, or those who try to cape up for the right. Colin Kaepernick did this. And to be honest, at first I was criticizing him. I really did. Not because he was disrespecting the flag, which he wasn't. Him and the people who bandwagoned him, they weren't disrespecting the flag. But this was definitely for attention and for a failing career. But now, seeing the fact that he signed on with Nike and is becoming the new face of Nike, Colin Kaepernick's a fucking genius when you think about it. This was all part of the plan. I see what he did now. I see exactly what he did. You want to be a fledgling backup quarterback for 5 to 10 years? Or do you want to be the face of a sports brand, making tens to hundreds of millions of dollars to do absolutely nothing but be a social justice warrior? But with that being stated, those who cape on the left or cape on the right, particularly people who don't have experience and aren't proven in that industry, I am on the opinion that a lot of these people really have no business speaking. And as I said, at the very least, on the surface, I'm a critic of what Colin Kaepernick did, but I don't care too much about the good old boy reaction either. So, I mean, we all know what that's all about. That's just some leftist, rightist bullcrap. And just like this, Kanye West, you are an entertainer. And when it comes to me personally, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of his hip-hop music. A lot of people who say, well, he's a lyrical genius. Look, I've had to deal with listening to Kanye West for the past 15 years. And to be honest, from the songs I've heard, nothing really stands out that says lyrical musical genius. Does his music suck? Well, compared to the other kind of music that I had to tolerate in the 2000s, especially in the rap arena, to today, I can't say it sucks. Because the bar's so low, somebody like Kanye West, who puts out mediocre hip-hop music, can get over. So as far as I'm concerned, I can't say his music sucks, at least for his time. But better believe that if he came on the scene 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years before the 2000s, he wouldn't have lasted a week. Anyway, let's get on to what the left and the right has to say about this. You have those on the left, like Thug, Illiterate Nair, and Don Lemonade. Yes, T.I. and DL. DL! DL! Well, that's if he was on the DL, but at least Mr. Lemonade has the balls to come out, so I can't knock him on that. But These are the last individuals who need to speak anything against Kanye. I already talked to you about DL and him trying to be a roast master at Kanye's expense. When you, sir, you are a roast waiting to happen. If Tucker Carlson was unhinged, if he didn't have the chain of conservative Fox News around him to give him topics, if he wasn't damage controlling Kanye so hard, he could cook the shit out of you. And I'm not even that big of a fan of Tucker Carlson, but imagine Tucker Carlson coming on YouTube just cooking the shit out of Don Lemonade, man. Talk about a roast arena. And you have a couple other goons, a couple other buffoons, stereotypes, like Diddy. You know, 50 got shot 50 times in Jamaica, Queens, because he be so hard. And you got Snoop Dogs, Snoop Weezy, Snoop Lion, Snoop, I don't know, whatever he wants to call himself this week. They're talking shit too, from what I hear. And as far as this is concerned, I mean, all four of them just need to sit down somewhere, because these are the four people, especially the king of the South, not South, South.
Yo, Kanye, man, this is Ty. You know who I be? This is Ty up in here. And I haven't made a relevant album in 10 years, but you get to go to the White House and meet with Donald Trump, man. Man, that's some coon shit, man. That's some fucked up coon ass, Sambo ass, Uncle Tom ass, Uncle Ruckus ass. That's some bullshit, man. And you know what? Kanye, if you listening, I am defriending you from my Facebook and my Instagram and my YouTube and my Twitter and my Pinterest, where we share our cooking recipes for 150 kinds of collard greens. Yeah, that Pinterest. Yeah, you're gonna be a butthole after that. You ain't copying off my shit anymore. I'm from the South. I'm from the South. You from Chicago. Chicago with your northern ass, your northern accent ass. You think you's better than everyone else because you decided to step out on your own and wear a hat. I could wear a red hat too, but I didn't, because you know why? I'm a real G. I'm a real G nigga. I'm a street nigga. Even though where I'm from, there ain't no streets. They're just dirt roads. The first street they just paved last week, and I wasn't even invited to that neither. That was my hometown, y'all. Bull, man. But hey, I tell you what, I'm still following Kim. She had a nice ass though. That nice ass that Donald Trump agreed to touch as a favor in order to let that other chick go who was jocked up for life, who Kim told Donald Trump to let go. Yeah, you think Donald Trump just let her go for nothing? She had to put out in something. You know what I mean? Like she gonna put out to your boy, man. Yeah, me, 50 Cent, and Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion, Snizzle Dizzle, my Nizzle, whatever he wants to call himself this week. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the Kardashian mansion. We're gonna knock on that door. We're gonna be fly though, and Kim's gonna open it. And you know what's gonna happen? Choo choo choo, choo 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 choo. That's what's gonna happen, dog. Because you did this. You did this to yourself. Nobody's fault to blame but you. But yeah, you know what? After we go choo choo on her, I'm looking at Chloe. I know she just had a new baby, and we're gonna choo 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 on her too. Sorry, Tristan. I mean, I know you gotta get caught up in this, dog, but you stick to your basketball, dog. We ain't trying to hurt you, man. Man, this is all about Kanye. Enough person to you. Although I know you hating on this Becky's though. But check this out. After we done with Chloe, me and the homies, we're gonna go to Kylie Jenner's house. Yeah, she bought the Kardashians too, I know. And guess what we're gonna do? Guess what we're gonna do? Not choo-choo, no, we're not choo-choo-choo. No, choo-choo-choo. It's gonna be Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Man, we're gonna zoom, zoom, zoom over Kylie Jenner because she ain't got no ass though. That's a Becky. Because I'm taking my time with the Becky. She's a real Becky. That's a legit Becky. I know Travis Scott, he's gonna be mad, but I don't give a damn because Travis Scott, you ain't taking over my shine. Even though I had no record album that was relevant in the past decade, I don't care if you coming in the game and you and Kylie trying to be next power couple. No, man. Hashtag craps in the bucket. I can't see another black man taking the spot I once held for about 5 months. That's some bull. That's some bull crap. And a lot of people say, why are you trying to keep another black man down? Hey, look, I was king of the South. Oh, you didn't know? You asked me to call somebody. What? Nobody knows who T.I. is. But they know Travis Scott. And they know, what do you kids listen to these days? Your J. Cole and your Travis Scott and your Fortnite.
You know what? For all of you out there who think Donald Trump is a racist, quite frankly, this is actually one of the first signs that he may be. This is one of the more solid proof of evidence that Donald Trump is a racist. To invite someone like Kanye West, who is far from being the most articulate, politically minded individuals, he knew what he was doing. You have a bunch of people who are way better when it comes to articulating the message and coming up with an agenda for his people. You chose someone like Kanye West. Hell, LeBron James would have been a better choice. And he's no 130, 140, 150 IQ Negro who can articulate his stuff. This is a travesty. This is absolute travesty. To the point that Jen Brown was speechless, which I already said why. And as far as the agendas, Kanye was bouncing around so much that he didn't have a freaking agenda.
Oh, what do you say, Clutch? You wouldn't have said anything any different. Whoa.
Okay. I'll tell you what my agendas would have been. 1. End the war on drugs, especially the war on marijuana. I'm not going to go into details on why it needs to end. If you're watching this channel, chances are you can probably come up with a whole list of reasons why. 2nd, get rid of the welfare state. Legitimately get rid of it. Not just make small, minor cuts and test out shutting down the welfare system, all this other kind of stuff. No, cut it. I don't care the chaos that ensues. Trust me, the chaos will come. But do you want a little bit of chaos right now or a whole lot of chaos down the line? Also, address getting blacks educated, particularly for very little. A lot of blacks, yes, you want to say that a lot of blacks are going to school now more than ever, but chances are we're not going to school for the right thing. So I would instill a program which pushes all kids, especially minority kids in inner cities, to go for degrees that matter, particularly STEM, anywhere in the medical field, or in the trades. And also, the 4th thing that I would address, particularly to President Trump, is how we need to get rid of the negative, stereotypical images that we see constantly. He brought up some points. Will they be taken serious by Donald Trump? At this point. Which gets me around to you writers. You writers. You black conservative writers, man. You guys who are on Kanye's nuts. Calling him a genius. Not just a lyrical, musical genius, but a genius in general. Were you guys saying this 10 years ago when he was talking shit about George W. Bush? Now, what he said about George W. Bush was halfway right. George Bush didn't care about those black people, mainly because they didn't have the money. But that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. But you conservative Negroes who, I guess you guys were liberals 10 years ago. Ooh, did I say that? The point is, you guys, if this was the other way around, you guys would have been disowning him, kicking him in the mud, dragging him through the mud, throwing him off tilted towers, going 8v1 on him in Battle Royale, calling him all sorts of buffoons and coons, and claiming that he's insane and crazy. Now you guys want to call him insane and crazy? Or, what should I say? That's the left. Now you guys on the left want to call him insane and crazy. Well, 10 years ago, you were at the opposite point, where you were on his nuts. Just like the black conservatives are right now. This is just disingenuous grandstanding from both sides. Kanye West was always off. And I think it shouldn't take someone who is a political atheist, if I'm leaning anywhere, it's towards the libertarian side. But it shouldn't take someone of my political philosophy and leaning to tell you that Kanye West was already off his meds. And this was way before he came to the White House. Hell, this was before he made that speech during Hurricane Katrina. Right there, that should have told you that Kanye West is not all the way there. He may have a triple-digit IQ. I'll give you that. I'll give you conservatives that. I'll give you liberals, particularly you pro-black liberals and Negroes, who say that Kanye West upgraded and married a white woman. Oh, come on. Kardashians are white. Okay. The Kardashians are white, and I'm white. So, give me that. Give me that break. How about that? How about that, America? Oh, you won't? Because the majority of blacks here are horrible stereotypes. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Whatever. But yeah, you both know what you're doing. You're doing this. Donald Trump knew what he was doing when he invited Kanye West to the White House. And you disingenuous people of the left and the right know what you're doing right now. And also, I know what I'm doing right now by making this video. And it's to get views. It's to get views. The AMS hand rub, baby. This video is strictly for views. Because quite frankly, this whole thing was a fucking joke. Right message, wrong messenger. Everyone else out there, always bet on X.